Give me a cheer if you're drinking. Give me a cheer if you're drunk. This one's for you guys. As I woke in pain and bleary, with a stench so foul and beery, I wrestled with this query. How'd I end up here once more? Indistinctly I remember I'd been on a vodka bender when I woke with head so tender on the clammy kitchen floor. This I knew, but nothing more. Well, it's lucky no one found me with those empties all around me, staring anxious and astounded through an open cupboard door. Because there under the sink was what I'd clearly had to drink. Nestled next to the box of Persil was a bottle of Lenore. Fabric softener called Lenore. Now, in my younger years, I drank many kinds of beers, wines and spirits, alcoholic drinks galore. But I've never been so punk that fabric softener's been drunk. However low I've sunk when I'm really fucking poor, and I'm often very poor. What the hell had I been thinking in the midst of all that drinking, that I needed subtle hints of lemon freshness at my core? Well, why even stop there when there's plenty of fairy liquid Dow's and Ariel for a nightcap I could pour, or, in the case of washing powder, snort. So I'm lying there in bits, belly full of beer shits and a loathing of myself, which I'd clearly earned, I'm sure, when, like fearsome thunder clapping, there arose this noisome tapping. Only Michael Winner rapping could annoy me anymore. He's been dead for years and I shouldn't do that joke anymore. Then as the sound began to rise, just like the pain behind my eyes, I quite slowly realised that I was on my own no more. For as far as I could gather, at my feet there sat a badger, his face all wet and splattered, blood red in tooth and claw, evil badger, steeped in gore. The badger sat there grinning like the ghost of all my sinning, simply grinning, only grinning with a smirk upon his jaw. Had he come here to confuse me, to torment me and abuse me? It could not be to soothe me with that blood upon his paw. Oh, badger, wherefore? Still he sat and showed no motion, nor no flicker of emotion, or any kind of notion as to what he'd come there for, just sitting in the gloom, emanating clouds of doom, which filled my chilly room with a glimpse of what's in store for the fool who drank Lenore. And still there is this crashing, like 50 cymbals clashing in my head with heated passion. How much more could I endure? My senses all were routed, my sanity I doubted. As desperate I shouted at the badger on the floor with all the strength that I could draw. Oh, why do you annoy me? Were you sent here to destroy me, being so loud and noisy when my head is very sore? Why, you black and stripy bastard, don't you know that I got plastered last night while I was wasted, drank this bottle of Lenore? Quoth the badger. Shut your maw. Why don't you quit your crying? Yes, you're sick and maybe dying. It's your own fault you were lying there upon the kitchen floor. What the hell did you expect, hurling that shit down your neck? Thus the badger did reflect, oozing hate from every pore. I continued. I implored, oh, badger, I've been thinking, is this about my drinking? Are you here to give an inkling I should think about a cure? Please, badger, say this visit is to rouse my drunken spirit. The booze, well, I can quit it. Help me, badger, I implore, quoth the badger. Don't be sure. Did I neglect to mention that this ain't an intervention, more a sign of the dementia in the brain that you forswore? No way I'm here beside you to help you out or guide you, but rather to deride you. You're a moron, to be sure, quoth the badger, with a roar. Now we lie in the pre-dawn, heavy blinds and curtains drawn, and the badger, with a yawn, rests his head and starts to snore. As my senses start to dull, I know for him there'll be no cull, for the pounding in my skull says it's me that is no more, thanks to drinking, damned Lenore. And the badger still is napping, despite the tapping, still is napping and occasionally crapping on the clammy kitchen floor. As my eyes begin to close, I feel him drooling on my toes. For me, there's no more shows, no returning, pas d'encore. And I'll go drinking, nevermore. Cheers.